Hi, my name is Amanda Boyce, and in this podcast I'm going to be discussing copyrights, more specifically copyrighted material versus material that is in the public domain. The current rules of authorship of copyrighted materials states that the author has sole rights to their materials for the duration of their lifetime plus 70 years. Once this time limit has been breached, the material falls into the public domain, meaning anyone can use it freely without getting permission first. In the circumstances where a corporation is the author of the material, the copyright lasts either 120 years from the date of creation if unpublished, or 95 years from the date of publication. This ensures the individual or corporation to always be making a profit on the material for a lengthy period of time by selling licenses to use their material. If someone were to try and use the material in any way, the individual or corporation could then also sue that person for copyright infringement, also making themselves a great deal of money. I'd like to take the time now to give you some examples of works that are either copyrighted still or of the public domain. Starting with the public domain, we have Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. A benefit of something like this being in the public domain is the idea of Isaac Newton's standing on the shoulders of giants. By building upon such musical masterpieces as this, people can remix and add their own flavor, resulting in something that sounds a little bit like this. Another work that is in the public domain is Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. I have seen this play be performed at another college I went to, and it was very enjoyable. Like the rest of Shakespeare's works, I feel it's important that they are in the public domain so that schools and drama clubs can put on these productions, and other productions like them. Lastly, a third work that is part of the public domain is Mozart's Requiem. I'm sure countless orchestras have performed this piece and are able to do so freely without needing permission. As for works that are still under copyright protection, I will use the examples of the novel The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks, the album Nightmare by Avenged Sevenfold, and the recently released film Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. While Nicholas Sparks did allow his book and many of his other novels to be made into movies, he had to sell those production companies the licenses to make the screenplay adaptations of The Notebook and other novels. That way, Sparks can still cash in on the profits from the movie adaptations. His protections also prevent anyone else from writing novels using his characters or too similar plots. In the case of the album Nightmare by Avenged Sevenfold, the music is protected under copyright, whereas the recording is not, but the copyright protection prevents anyone from sampling the band's music on that album or making derivatives of their songs without first getting permission from the record company. Like in the case of Vanilla Ice stealing or sampling a bit of Queen's song Under Pressure in his song Ice Ice Baby, if anyone were to do the same to one of the songs on Nightmare, the record company could file a lawsuit against them. Lastly, while the Harry Potter movies themselves are licensed adaptations of the popular book series by J.K. Rowling, the movies, and more specifically the recently released Deathly Hallows, are all protected under copyright under the production company. This prevents any other person or company from creating any sorts of spin-offs for a profit without first seeking permission from the necessary parties. In the cases of currently copyrighted work, the protection is important because otherwise those authors of such material wouldn't be able to make as much money off their works as they could with such protection. But on the other hand, it is reasonable that after such long periods of time after those authors' deaths, when no more profit could be made, that those works would fall into the public domain. Then maybe one day we all could stand on the shoulders of giants.